Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain News Club. Let's take a brief intro into today's crypto updates before going into the details. Banks are avoiding crypto companies because of a crackdown by regulators that could cut digital currencies off from the real-world financial system. A new proposal from the SEC could make it harder for cryptocurrency companies to act as custodians of digital assets. Interestingly, an article on Forbes by Rosalind Layton, which offered a critical analysis of the unfair treatment of Ripple by the SEC, was removed from the Forbes website. Even though cryptocurrencies are becoming more popular and more people are investing in them, the regulatory environment hasn't been set up yet. Ripple is unlocking new tokenization use cases on the XRP Ledger with creators focused on blending physical and digital experiences with real-world utility. Ripple has established contacts with the Singapore government and even the country's central bank to push for a CBDC. Before we dive deep into today's updates, please subscribe to our Blockchain News Club channel. It will help us immensely. Banks are breaking up with crypto during regulatory crackdown. Banks are avoiding crypto companies because of a crackdown by regulators that could cut digital currencies off from the real-world financial system. The Securities and Exchange Commission is going after the biggest players in the industry in a way that could limit their reach. People who know about the situation say that this move has scared bankers who don't want to do business with customers who are in the SEC's sights. Banks that have invested a lot in crypto are either cutting ties with the market or reducing their exposure to it. Banks that tried to stay away from cryptocurrency are now doing even more to stay away. They are closing accounts and turning away customers who might have ties to the industry. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency has said that banks will be able to store cryptocurrencies for their customers starting in 2020. After the FTX meltdown, regulators changed their minds. In January, the three biggest banking regulators told banks that they were worried about their crypto ties. The regulators said they had significant concerns about safety and soundness and asked if the industry could be banked safely. That was a red flag that went up, said Thomas Vartanian, Executive Director of the Financial Technology and Cybersecurity Center. It basically says, banks, if you're going to do anything with crypto, we're going to look at you very closely. At the end of the day, banks will have to decide if the trouble is worth it. Last November, Citigroup Incorporated closed Swan Bitcoin's account out of the blue. Corey Clipson, the CEO of the platform for trading bitcoins, said that his own accounts at Citigroup had also been closed. He said that no one ever told him why. A spokesman for Mercury, a banking service for new businesses, said that because of regulatory uncertainty, the company does more checks on these businesses. Signature is the most well-known bank to leave the cryptocurrency market. At the beginning of 2022, digital asset clients made up 27% of its $109 billion in deposits. The bank said last year that it wanted to cut the amount of deposits that come from the crypto business to less than 15% and put a limit on how much any one crypto customer could deposit. Regulators didn't tell them to stop, but the bank thought that was because they agreed with what we were doing, as CEO Joe DiPaolo put it. He and the bank's chairman, Mr. Shea, both said they don't regret getting into cryptocurrency. Some banks, on the other hand, are still using crypto. Silvergate put all of its money into cryptocurrency and doesn't have any other ways to make money like Signature does. It lost most of its cryptocurrency deposits in a run on the bank last quarter. To save money, it is cutting jobs and shrinking its business. Silvergate said that it will keep working with crypto companies. But it's getting harder for new people to get in. After getting preliminary approval from the OCC at the beginning of 2021, two companies trying to get bank licenses are still in limbo. Paxos National Trust and Protego Trust Company both wanted to open banks that would hold clients' crypto assets and make trading easier. The conditional charter for Protego just ran out. In a tweet, Paxos said that it is still working constructively with the OCC. Tighter rules to control crypto custody? The SEC says. The Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States has given the green light to a new crypto plan. It says that it will be harder for cryptocurrency firms in the country to act as custodians for digital assets. Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, said that the proposal calls for changes to the 2009 custody rule that will apply to custodians of all assets, including cryptocurrencies, if it is officially approved by the governing body. The SEC says that a qualified custodian is usually a bank or savings association chartered by the federal government or a state, a trust company, a registered broker-dealer, a registered futures commission merchant, or a foreign financial institution. Gensler says that some trading platforms for cryptocurrencies that offer custody services are not really qualified custodians. Under the new rules, all US-based firms that want to become qualified custodians must separate all custody assets, including digital ones. There will also be more hoops to jump through, such as annual audits by public accountants and other measures to make things more open. The SEC chairman said. When these platforms go bankrupt, something we've seen time and again recently, investors' assets often have become property of the failed company, leaving investors in line at the bankruptcy court. Gensler also said that, based on the track record of the industry, there were not many crypto firms that could be trusted enough to be qualified custodians. Not everyone agrees with the SEC's position on cryptocurrencies. Commissioner Hester Peirce, for example, did not agree with the plan. He said, "Such sweeping statements in a rule proposal seem designed for immediate effect, a function proposing releases should not play. These statements encourage investment advisors to back away immediately from advising their clients with respect to crypto." Peirce says that such strict rules will force investors to take their money out of businesses that haven't put in place enough safeguards to protect against fraud and theft. Peirce is worried that the public won't have enough time to look at all parts of the plan in this amount of time. A senior contributor to Forbes, Rosalind Layton, has filed a motion to gain access to the closely guarded Hinman speech documents. Interestingly, an article on Forbes by Rosalind Layton, which offered a critical analysis of the unfair treatment of Ripple by the SEC, was removed from the Forbes website. This is turning into a real dogfight. Gary Gensler's SEC is failing the crypto world. Even though cryptocurrencies are becoming more popular and more people are investing in them, the regulatory environment hasn't been set up yet. Gary Gensler is the current chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission. He was chosen by President Joe Biden in April 2021, with the hope that he would bring clarity and transparency to the way cryptocurrencies are regulated. But it looks like the SEC is still having a hard time coming up with clear rules for the cryptocurrency market. This has made many investors and traders nervous and slowed the growth of the cryptocurrency market. The SEC's way of regulating cryptocurrencies is often criticized for being too slow and reactive. This lack of clear rules has led to a lot of confusion, and many people have asked what the rules are for investing in cryptocurrencies. Gensler has also recently said things that have made cryptocurrency investors nervous. He said that exchanges should be regulated the same way that regular exchanges are. This could have big effects on the cryptocurrency market. Many people think that this approach is not realistic and would stop new ideas from happening in the crypto industry. The ecosystem as a whole is still in its early stages of growth, and too much regulation could slow its growth and development. It's still not clear if the SEC will be able to come up with clear rules that will help the cryptocurrency market grow and thrive. Hester Peirce, an SEC commissioner, has been one of the most vocal critics of the way the SEC regulates cryptocurrencies. She recently criticized the SEC's latest plan, which would require cryptocurrency exchanges to register with the SEC. Peirce said that the proposal was a substantial departure from the way things were, and he said that it would stop new ideas from coming up in the cryptocurrency market. Peirce also joined Crypto Twitter, a group of people who are interested in cryptocurrencies, to talk about the SEC's latest plan. She used the platform to talk with people in the cryptocurrency community and find out what they thought about the proposal. This is a nice change of pace because it shows that the SEC wants to hear what the crypto community has to say and wants to work with them. The cryptocurrency community has been happy with Peirce's criticism of the SEC's latest plan. Many people think the proposal is too restrictive and could stop people from coming up with new ideas in the market. Peirce's willingness to talk to the community and hear what they have to say is a good step towards making rules for the cryptocurrency market that are clear and easy to understand. So, we can say that the way the SEC and its leader, Gary Gensler, have done things has failed. The SEC is a separate agency, but Congress and the President are the ones who have the final say. Sadly, politicians often care more about getting votes than fixing the real problems that are hurting the markets. The first step in regulating should be to talk to investors, so as to calm their confused and uncertain minds. Ripple's Creator Fund enables phygital NFT projects on the XRP Ledger. The merging of physical products, services, and experiences with the digital world, also called phygital NFTs, has become one of the most popular Web3 trends in the past year. Some of the biggest brands in the fashion and food and drink industries, like Starbucks, Nike, Adidas, and Balmain, have started using tokenization as a way to build direct relationships with their audiences and offer new ways to share their content. Ripple is opening up new tokenization use cases on the XRP Ledger by working with creators to combine real-world utility with digital and physical experiences. Since XLS20 went live on mainnet, hundreds of projects have taken advantage of the XRP Ledger's low-cost, carbon-neutral, instant settlement, and built-in royalty structures. This has increased the value of content consumption for NFT creators and their communities. Ripple has kept putting money into working NFT projects through its $250 million Creator Fund, which is meant to encourage innovation in tokenization. The Creator Fund helps NFT creators bring their projects to life on the XRPL by giving them financial, creative, and technical support. This helps NFT creators push the limits of what is possible and find new ways to use NFTs. Ripple hopes that 7 independent creators will be able to continue to speed up the future of tokenization with the help of the Creator Fund. Hot Import Nights, Adrian Balastgi, Emporio Records, Mike Sotorakos, Natasha Aynot, Robert Chu and Traum Amnesia are the 7 independent creators. Ripple said that it's exciting to hear firsthand from these visionary creators how they plan to leverage NFTs on the XRPL. As Roman Loizic of Traum Amnesia says, the arrival of NFTs is a total game changer for creators. The speed of transfer, carbon neutrality and simplicity of the XRPL are major pluses. As an artist, I'm very happy to participate in the development of this use case at scale. Will Ripple sign Singapore as its next CBDC customer? Central bank digital currencies are a top priority for Ripple in its plans and goals for 2023, and the company already has important partnerships with several countries. Ripple was able to say that the island nation of Palau and the Kingdom of Bhutan are both CBDC customers. The company is also working on a number of projects around the world, such as the digital pound and a pilot program for a digital stablecoin in Montenegro, a country in southeastern Europe. Ripple's senior vice president and managing director, Brooke Entwistle, gave new information about CBDCs. Entwistle said at the Crypto Finance Conference in the middle of January that his company is very busy in Singapore. We have a very big CBDC practice, it's now globally based. We've actually put 4 people on the ground in Singapore alone, focused on this. This is seen as a strong hint that Ripple is in touch with the Singapore government or even the country's central bank to push for a CBDC. Whether or not Ripple is already a partner is just a guess, and we'll have to wait and see. Last November, it was reported that the Monetary Authority of Singapore, which is Singapore's central bank, was looking into the Ubin Plus wholesale CBDC project for cross-border payments. The project will look at how CBDCs can be used for managing foreign exchange and liquidity, as well as how they can connect to other digital asset networks. As part of Ubin Plus, MOS is also working with 17 other central banks and commercial banks in a swift CBDC sandbox to test how well they can work together across borders. Brooke Entwistle said some other interesting things about Ripple's CBDC strategy besides what he said about Singapore. It's an important effort and a set of important products, the executive said, adding, "We've decided that CBDCs are a very important part of what we're going to do in addition to our payments business." He said that Ripple is focusing on smaller governments and central banks that need a whole solution, as well as on sidechains, which are being made from scratch. Entwistle talked about the Kingdom of Bhutan in the same way. Our first MO is the Kingdom of Bhutan, a very forward-looking king, technology advanced. And he wants a better way of moving the kind of value around the country, whether it is payments or other stuff. But also a system to set up so that they can eventually have remittances back in the country as well. On top of that, the executive said that Ripple is talking to and working with central banks from all over the world. Both in China and the US, there are a lot of people trying to get that. Entwistle also said, a lot of people have their own sovereign interests, so you have to be honest about what you can do there. In the end, he said that Ripple's technology could be a big part of how CBDCs around the world work together. But CBDC will be an important topic for the entire industry going forward, and the interoperability between them, we think, has a real opportunity for many of us around the table. We know that 90% of central banks are pursuing CBDC projects. Central banks can build trust using the XRP Ledger's proven technology, enabling consistent standards, privacy, and security. The XRP Ledger will also enable CBDCs to build on it to create wholesale retail products that can come in handy for banks, fintechs, and members of the public. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel for regular updates in the blockchain community.